Hello, it's Patrick Melly from Russian Hill and Tallowan Ranch. It's the very end of December 2020, and it's been a rather unconventional year, as everybody has experienced. So, following with that unconventional theme, I thought I would make a video about a particular wine, which I've never done before. I've always made videos about vineyards or about winemaking or wines in general. But something came up, now it's been a couple months ago, where I got some feedback from one of you who said that they had just had a particular wine of mine, and it was an aged wine, and how much they enjoyed it. And at that time I thought, well, that's really nice. A, that they would reach out and let me know, and B, that a wine that's essentially 14 years old is still drinking really nicely. But I kind of just tucked it away. But now, at the end of the year, as I'm doing my year-end inventory, I find that I have some of that wine. And it's our 2006 Meredith Vineyard Pinot Noir. And based on what the customer had told me, I thought, well, I'm going to crack open a bottle and see if I agree with them. And I did do that, and I did agree with them. And I thought, this could be a really interesting teaching moment. I forgot about the wine because it's a little bit long in the tooth, far from my memory, and I just haven't had it for a couple of years. So once I opened it and I realized that it was drinking really nicely, but it's drinking like a really nicely aged wine, as opposed to the very young fruit-driven wines that typically we're releasing. So I thought that I would make this video and talk just a little bit about young wines versus aged wines. And I've got to say that the vast majority of people in the United States drink wines that are young. And those are the wines that I sell all day, every day. And it's not that many opportunities people get to drink a wine that's been stored properly and has a good number of years on it. And so it's really developed what in the wine business we call bottle bouquet. And that is something that is not defined just by fruit. And so we've got this 2006 Meredith Pinot Noir that I made. And I thought that I would just do a little descriptor, if you will, or not even descriptor, just talk about the wine. One of the things that you'll see, and we'll get some close-ups, is that the wine is no longer the deep purplish that a young wine is. It's matured, it's got the brickish colors, but it's not washed out looking at all. And it also, the aromatics on it, I tasted it a little while ago, the second bottle, and just to make sure that my analysis a week or two ago was correct, and it is still got a touch of fruit, but we're really talking now these secondary and maybe even third smells and flavors that start to show up. So when I smell it, I get some nice forest floor, and I almost get a touch of caramel going on, some of that maybe burnt sugary caramel quality. You may get something different. But I thought that I would talk about the wine, and I've got to preface it by saying that this wine won't be for everybody, because most people are used to drinking very young wine, and this will be very different for them. But those of you that may want to taste an older wine, or some of you, as my customer that just opened it a few months ago did, that are willing to sit on wine, cellar it for many years, and then enjoy it, I think this would be a fun learning experience. I can tell you that the mouth is still really good, and that makes me as a winemaker wonder, and I went back through my notes, what is it that made this wine hold up so well? And part of that is it was a very good year for us. The vineyard is a little bit further west than my own vineyard, so it had a little bit higher acidity level. The alcohol is not very high. So I think that those combinations have allowed this wine to hold up for a very, very long time. And I'm hoping that some of you will think and be curious enough to give the wine a try. We're going to put it up, and I looked, and we sold this wine somewhere in the mid 40s back then, because that's what the price was, and it'd be much more now. But I told our bookkeeper that, we'll put it up on our website. We'll put it up at the original price. There's not much. There's like 6 or 7 cases, because that's what I found. And I don't know. I think there's probably, she said, well, we've got to make it where there's going to be, we can't sell just 1 bottle, but they can mix and match up to 3 bottles, and that's the way that it'll work. So I thought, well, how's that going to work? They can either get, if people are really interested, they could get several of these bottles, or they could get one of these and 1 or 2 of our newer vintages and do a real interesting taste test. See what young fruity wines are like compared to a mature wine from the same general growing area, the Russian River Valley, the Sonoma Coast area. And so that's kind of what this video is all about. It's an unconventional year and kind of an unconventional wine tasting. So I hope that some of you are at least piqued, your interest is piqued, and you'd like to give it a try, see how an older wine that's been cellared properly tastes, and maybe even compare it to a younger, fresher wine. So cheers to 2021.